the press has to straighten itself out because honestly, it's lost all credibility. When that can happen, based on the press, I should have gotten no votes, none. And yet I got the highest number ever. And the reason is because I'm able to go on a show, even like yours, even though you're very hostile.
NBC host Kristen Welker tried her best to corner Trump in this interview, but it did not go the way she planned. Trump did not just shut her down, he also called her out in true Trump fashion. Let's review some of the best highlights of the Trump interview.
I'm the chief law enforcement officer. You do know that. I'm the president. But I'm not interested in that. You know what I'm interested in? Drilling and getting prices down and stopping people from pouring into our border that come from prisons and mental institutions.
What do you plan to accomplish in your first 100 days in office?
Well, we're going to do something with the border, and very strong, very powerful. That'll be our first signal, and a first signal to America that we're not playing games. We have people coming in by the millions, as you know, and a lot of people shouldn't be here. Most of them shouldn't be here, but we have jails being emptied into our country. That's what led us to one of the greatest economies ever. And those two things are going to be very, very vital, very important. We're going to be focusing on crime in the cities.
How do you make sure that these CEOs, that these companies don't, in fact, pass on the cost of tariffs to their consumers?
They cost Americans nothing. They made a great economy for us.
But how do you make sure that consumers don't wind up paying more? Will you punish CEOs who try to pass the cost of tariffs onto their customers?
Well, the market's going to take care of it. I mean, actually, the market takes care of it. And if it doesn't, we adjust it somewhat. But no, they make a lot of money.
Now, this is where Kristen thought she had him, asking about tariffs. And Trump's response, gold. The market takes care of it. The left doesn't get it. They think the government has to micromanage every little thing.
Are you actually going to impose these tariffs, or are they a negotiating tactic?
Well, I'll give you an example. With Canada, and in particular Mexico, we have millions of people pouring into our country.
Let me ask you about another aspect of the economy, sir, the minimum wage. The federal minimum wage has been $7.25 since 2009. You said you would consider it. And so my question for you is, now that you are going back to the White House, for these 19 states that voted for you, are you going to raise the federal
It's a very low
minimum wage?
number. I will agree. It's a very low number. Let me give you the downside, though. In California, they raised it up to a very high number. I mean, in terms of the cost of living and other things. So it would be nice to have just a minimum wage for the whole country, but it wouldn't work. We have the highest crime rate. And during the debate, a man whose ratings have gone way down, David Muir, said to me, no, crime is, because I had to debate three people, not one. Debating one was easy. Debating three was actually pretty easy, too, if you want to know the truth. But David Muir said, the crime rates have gone down.
Lawmakers on Capitol Hill, they say it's no longer feasible to repeal and replace Obamacare because it's so entrenched in the system. Do you see it that way? Is that now off the table, repealing and replacing?
When John McCain let us down by voting, and Murkowski and Collins, and whoever it was that voted against, but they really let us down. They did us a great disservice because we would have had great health. Obamacare is lousy health care. It's very expensive health care for the people. It's also expensive for the country, but for the people. It's lousy health care. When John McCain gave his thumbs down after saying for 10 years that he wants to repeal and replace.
Someone finally says it. Obamacare has been a disaster from day one. High premiums, low quality, and a total mess for businesses. And when Trump tried to fix it, John McCain gave that infamous thumbs down. The left loves to scream about pre-existing conditions, but guess what? You can fix that without forcing everyone into a terrible system.
Do you have an actual plan at this point for healthcare?
Yes, we have concepts of a plan that would be better.
Still just concepts? Do you have a fully developed plan?
Let me explain. We have the biggest healthcare companies looking at it. We have doctors. We're always looking because Obamacare stinks. It's lousy. There are better answers. If we come up with a better answer, I would present that answer to Democrats and to everybody else, and I do something about it. I could have done the more political thing and killed it, and all I had to do is starve it to death.
You did try to have your Justice Department effectively kill it, though,
No,
sir.
Kill it from a legal standpoint, but from a physical standpoint, I made it work.
In your concepts of a plan, sir, will people with pre-existing conditions still have coverage? And can you guarantee their prices will not go up?
The answer is yes, they'll have coverage. You know, you have a tendency to sort of like slough over things. We just made a statement.
Let me ask you this about
It's
January
amazing.
6th.
I wish you could be if you have such potential. If you could be just non-biased, you hurt yourself so badly.
Let me ask you about January 6th in a different capacity, okay? I think you're going to want to answer this question. You promised to pardon those who attacked the Capitol on January 6th. Are you still vowing to follow through with that?
We're looking at it right now, most likely. Yeah.
This is your first interview since you won the election.
Congratulations.
Yes.
I hope
Congratulations to
you do
you.
well. I hope you do well with it.
Yes. And sir, I don't have to tell you this because you've talked about it. It comes at a time when the country is deeply divided. And now you're going to be leading this country for the next 4 years. For the sake of unifying this country, will you concede the 2020 election and turn the page on that chapter?
No. No. Why would I do that?
Why would he concede? The election was a train wreck, from questionable ballot practices to big tech censorship. We all saw what happened. And now they expect him to just say, oh, yeah, everything was fine. It is like asking someone to thank the referee after a rigged game.
But let me just tell you,
You
when
won't
you
ever
say the country is deeply divided, I'm not the president. Joe Biden's the president.
But you're going to be the president.
I'm not the president.
Well, hopefully you thought it was a fair interview. We covered a lot of policy ground.
It's
here.
fair only in that you allowed me to say what I say. But, the answers, the questions are, pretty nasty. But look, because I've seen you interview other people like Biden. And
I've never interviewed President Biden.
when I
actually.
say you, I'm talking metaphorically.
Okay.
I've seen George Stephanopoulos interview Biden. And he's a tough interviewer. It's the softest interview. I've seen CNN interview. They give these soft, what's your favorite ice cream? It's a whole different deal. I don't understand why. You would think the press would like to see strong borders, great education, a powerful military, so we have a country left, and all these different things. And somehow they don't want us.
Let me ask you, hopefully you think this interview was fair. We spent a lot of time talking about your policy in your second administration.
Trump handled Kristen Welker like a pro. She tried to trip him up, but he flipped the script every time. This is why people love Trump. He is unfiltered, he is real, and he does not play games. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more bold and unapologetic content.